but it's a huge process. So you can imagine what it's like, raising a puppy into a dog and training the dog to do certain things, okay, to obey, to listen, to whatever. And so the personal self is like that also. We've all been raised. Look at our lives. Look at your life. Look at his life. This is where we want to look at our life. And this is where I suggest that people start writing a book, just maybe 100 pages about their life, what they've seen so far, so they take a look at it and understand, how you were raised and the routines, especially that you've, come to know, the routines, the traditions, the ideas that are most forward in your mind, you see. So again, now you're coming into something else that is totally indifferent, totally different than the mind and the body and the personal self. The personal self has its own life here. And we need this personal self to start out with, but eventually we start to see that there is something else. And so we each have to decide to figure out the real purpose that life is. And so this is making the shift or the transition from what we already know. In other words, you know about the political system, you've come through the educational systems that they've created to keep us unaware. You've come through religion, spiritual paths, whatever, you've come through this, and now you see that there's more. And so this is the bigger picture. And for the personal self, this takes time. It takes a lot of time, like a tree growing. And so what we learn is to be patient and learn to recognize every new moment. Not the ideas that we create, but learning to recognize every new moment that we're in and to see that and how to relate that to what all life is, because it's indifferent. In other words, it's not the same as creation and what we decide. So this is the big challenge. And so there is not really an answer. In other words, we're in the position now to where when we were like an Eckankar and things like that, it was ask the master. But it's no longer like that. What it is now recognize what's real, more real than what we've known. And that's a big challenge. And this is why so many people come and go. There is not an answer to that question, except you have the answer. You have the answer. Each person has the answer to stay focused. And at first you look to the real guidance. It's just like anything. We were raised with our parents and we depended upon our parents. But now you look to yourself and what you decide. And see, now you're deciding to see the bigger picture. And in the meantime, Rebazar and the guides are there for you. They are guidance. They pretend to be your parents, but they're really guidance to where you're okay. There's your answer. You just keep going until you learn to see and be it and be okay with what all life is. Not what we think, but what all life is. That's the difference. That's where we see all life and we let the personal self go. You just do what you do with the personal self, but you focus on that purpose of being with all life. You see, that's the best part because it's endless. And that can't be answered because there's no absolute. In creation, absolutes are created, but they're fake. They're fake because all life is like the air we breathe. It's endless, and it supports us. Yeah, and it's invisible. So where's the answer to the air? There is no answer. You just breathe it, you be it, you see? That's the fun part. We're like little kids again, you see? Yeah. All right, very simple. So he's in the school or the university or wherever he's at, and he's talking to the professor, but he sees the moon falling. Yeah, so again, we have Kevin's experiences about what they're doing to the moon for the rest of the year here, maneuvering it, and actually going to cause a lot of disruptions on the planet. Now, the real guides can decide something with this. This is going to be interesting. So first comes the commitment, and the pain in his ears, okay, is from the frequency that's taking place. In other words, if we hear a loud sound or really loud music or something, or a frequency, like a siren or whatever, it bothers our ears, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
this is a warning, okay? The moon is creating not only the magnetic field, but a frequency is taking place that's very harmful. And so what he has shown here, the top of the mountain, the idea is to get a better view. In other words, he is being shown a better view, and this will come through gradually. So in other words, we want to tell people how to learn to see and recognize more than just create thought ideas about the situation. So you have to be patient. Again, it's moment by moment to learn to see what's going on and to learn to recognize every new moment with your real awareness, as opposed to just looking to your mind and saying, well, what is that, or this or that. And yeah, you can go on Google or the internet and get ideas, but remember, that's all controlled stuff, and we utilize that stuff in this world, but the bigger picture is our awareness. So he's getting a warning of the frequency of this event happening, isn't he? And so he's in a university, and the idea is that he's being taught something, isn't he? And so he's seeing this, all right? On the real side, he's seeing this. So this is a heads up warning as to people pay attention to see what happens with what they're doing with the moon. And so again, the guidance is there to help him get a bigger view of the situation. Very real. So we want to pay attention, don't we? So everyone can, figure this out and be okay, because they're going to create all kinds of nonsense to distract people and keep them unaware.